Hey everyone, and welcome back to the Foraging Family Homestead. My name is Ariel. Our homestead sits on Lookout Mountain in beautiful Alabama. And a lot of people don't even know that Alabama has beautiful mountains, and they do. For its biodiversity. And as I look around me today, I'm not only amazed by the beautiful mountains and the greenery, but hidden in these mountains are edible and medicinal plants that you can harvest right now. Now, a lot of people look at the trees and the plants and they look for the fruit or the flowers. But today I'm going to show you a hidden secret, something that every homesteader and gardener needs to know. In that crucial window before autumn arrives, I'm going to take you around and show you some of the amazing free nutrient-packed plants that you can harvest for that may just be growing right in your backyard. Grab your foraging basket and a notebook, and let's go. Okay, before we start picking, I just want you to keep two things in mind. First, we're in late summer, and that's when wildlife, pollinators, and other creatures are out also harvesting and foraging in preparation for winter. Insects like yellow jackets, and then we have creatures like snakes and even bears up here in the Alabama mountains. So it's incredibly important to practice situational awareness, stay aware, and also I avoid foraging in dusk or dawn when that's usually the most time where the animals are active. And I have a bear horn with me in my bag. I stay strapped with a knife. And usually I don't go foraging by myself. I don't just go frolicking in the woods like that. I'm usually with my husband, who also carries his gun with him. So just to stay aware and making sure that we have respect for the woods and the wildlife that live in it. We are all part of an ecosystem, so we just want to make sure that we're staying aware and being smart. And the second most important thing to keep in mind is to only be 100% sure before you pick or harvest anything. Please check out my description box because I put my most favorite foraging guidebooks and local guides. You want to make sure that wherever you are in the region that you live in, you have a foraging guide specifically for that region. It's super important to know with 100% accuracy what you are foraging for. I've been foraging for a decade now, and I still always reference my guidebooks, and there's always something to learn, but knowledge is power. So make sure that you grab a local field guide or maybe some foraging apps or plant ID apps that will help you to be completely sure before you harvest or eat anything in the wild outdoors. So always practice safety, sustainability, and awareness when out foraging. All right, let's get to it, guys. All right, so I am standing in front of our beautiful fig tree. Now, a lot of people, when they see a fig tree, what are they looking for? Of course, the fruit, the figs. But if you're only looking for the fruit, you're missing about 80% of the health benefits. And I'm going to show you that they're right here in these beautiful, amazing leaves. Okay, so these leaves are absolutely amazing. When you toast or steep them, they kind of smell like sweet coconut, vanilla, and roasted nuts. Like, it is so delicious. And our family loves making a delicious fig leaf syrup. And this is the time to get your leaves because as soon as September, autumn rolls around, the plant is literally going to take all of those nutrients from the leaves and shoot them right down into the roots, and the leaves are going to fall off. So right now is the perfect window of time. Although we do see these fruits, and we have been harvesting from these figs, and they've been absolutely delicious, we're going to go ahead and get some of these mature leaves down here and harvest as much as we can. That's not going to disrupt the production of this plant. We're going to make sure that we're not taking these top tender leaves, but more of the mature ones at the bottom. And we're going to use this for medicine. Now, do you see that right there? That white sap. Now, you don't want to eat fig leaves raw because this white sap, not only will it mess you up your stomach, but it will also irritate your skin. So when harvesting, I also recommend getting some gloves. I'm not going to touch the sap, but you see that you want to definitely don't eat them raw. Always want to toast them, dry them, or steep them, roast them and toast them, and it is absolutely delicious. We have enjoyed this fig syrup on top of waffles, pancakes, on toast, and even to sweeten our tea. And if you like coconutty flavor, this is it. It is super, super delicious. Honestly, it's not only a really great cozy tea, it actually helps to balance your blood sugar as well. So it's really nice. Start harvesting them now before all those nutrients get sucked back into the roots, and you will have yourself, you can dry them and then leave them whole, which would really retain the benefits, or to save some space, you can dry them and then crush them into an airtight container, and then you will have this all year long. Okay, so here we have some maypop hanging. Now, they will be ready once they wrinkle up a little bit, but you can use the leaves and the flower for tea. And the maypop tastes, it's a passion flower. It tastes very similar to passion fruit. Look at that. Lots of fruit here. And it's delicious. It's everywhere on this electric fence. Ooh.
Yeah, it's thriving too.
It really is. Yeah, look at all that fruit there. We are gonna come and pick them when they're ready. But those are the flowers. And you could actually harvest these flowers and make a delicious tea. It just grows. It's one of the native plants in this area. And it's amazing health benefits. Look at that beautiful flower.
So maypop or passion flower is amazing for the nervous system and helps with anxiety. So definitely want to harvest the flowers and the leaves for tea.
All right, next up, I want to talk about our berry leaves, specifically blueberry, blackberry, and raspberry. So whether you have wild versions or cultivated versions, we're able to harvest them just the same. And I'm going to talk about the amazing benefits right now. So for those of you who are just tuning into our channel, we live on a 12-acre homestead, and this is a blueberry orchard. This used to be a blueberry U-pick long ago, and now we're slowly rehabbing it to become that again. But we have a lot of work to do. As you can see, these don't look like blueberry bushes. These are like blueberry trees. So we have a lot of pruning and things to do. But we have gotten so many blueberries in the past. It has been amazing, and been able to sell them on our farm stand. But not only are the blueberries delicious and full of antioxidants, these leaves are amazingly medicinal. So blueberry leaves are also packed with antioxidants and natural compounds that will give your metabolism a gentle boost and keep your energy steady. So I actually like to wait till the leaves turn to this color right here. This is when they are packed most full of all of those nutrients that we want. And now that production is ended and there's no more blueberries on this tray, I am going to sustainably harvest and collect a whole bunch of blueberry leaves, dry them, and then I'll have tea for the rest of the year. I get to put this in my family medicine pantry. Amazing. All right, so right behind me are vines and vines, thousands of vines of, can you guess? Blackberries. Out here in the countryside of Alabama and most of the South, we have fields and fields of wild blackberry and raspberries. Our family loves to spend the entire summer harvesting all the blackberries and raspberries we can. We make so many delicious recipes with it. But once those berries are gone, the plant still has some amazing properties, and we don't want to miss out on that before they go away. So let me talk about them. An interesting fact, to tell the difference between blackberries and raspberries, blackberries have a square-like stem. So as you can see here, it's kind of corrugated and square. Blackberries have a corrugated square stem with pointed leaves, and the wild raspberries have more of a rounder leaf and a round stem. All of them do have thorns, so it is incredibly important to have a pair of gloves when harvesting. So these blackberry leaves are super astringent, which basically means like they will tighten and soothe inflamed tissues. And if anyone in the house gets an upset stomach, this is the type of tea you want in your arsenal. It is like a classic gut settler, and it's also awesome as a warm gargle if you end up having a scratchy throat, especially in those winter months when we tend to get the flu and all those things. I definitely harvest plenty of this because there's so much of it. I make sure that I'm not stripping just one plant bare, but since there's so much that grows, like I'm talking thousands and thousands of vines that grow along here, I don't mind getting as much as I can. And what I do is I dry those leaves and I leave them in a mason jar on my shelf. And whenever there's any symptoms in the house, especially during those flu season months, I grab some of this, and it is straight from my garden. And I only stick to picking from my garden area because I know these are not sprayed. Do not grab things from the side of roads because those companies, the power line companies, will spray. And also, 3, 2, 1, and also the car exhaust, all those toxins get onto the plants. And so I stay away from foraging on the side of the roads. But since this is my backyard, I am more than happy to do it. Also, now that I'm talking about location is super important when foraging. You cannot forage anywhere you want. If it's in your backyard, fair game, but there are private properties that I stay away from. And also here in Alabama, there are strict guidelines to foraging in state parks. Many state parks have guidelines that you cannot take anything living outside of the park. In some parks, they do allow you to harvest berries for personal use only, and a certain amount of it. So you want to make sure that you're staying up to date on the guidelines, but if it's your own property, it's fair game. But definitely location, be very careful that you're not just going onto private property or anything like that. You want to make sure that you're staying safe and following the rules. All right, so now let's talk about the raspberry leaf. I love raspberry leaf. Now, a lot of people recognize red raspberry leaf as being the woman's herb. It's loaded with natural iron and magnesium and calcium, and it helps with easing cramps and just giving you your daily dose of nutrients and nourishment. So definitely go and harvest some of those as well. But just like I said before, be careful that you are making sure that you're harvesting properly. Get those field guides, and definitely take precautions if you are currently pregnant, nursing, or have pre-existing health conditions. Now, mulberries are absolutely delicious. They are one of my favorite berries that come out, one of the first berries that come out in the summertime, and they were absolutely delicious. And now that all of the berries are gone, we're left with this huge, massive tree. But guess what? You can use the leaves. So people have been using mulberry leaves to make tea for thousands of years because it helps to stop sharp blood sugar spikes after you eat a full meal of carbs. And it dries down so easily and brews into a smooth, earthy tea. All right, y'all. So out of all the plants that I have talked about, leave me a comment. Which one are you really excited to harvest the leaves from this year? If you have any of these plants growing in your yard or around you, definitely grab one of those local field guides and really study out the amazing benefits and that you can actually harvest them right now before it's too late. Now, before we go, I just want to give a quick shout out to some of the amazing abundance that's growing around me. We have amazing mullein with its big, soft, velvety leaves, and it's like the absolute gold standard for soothing your lungs, clearing out chest congestion before winter cold season hits. We see goldenrod. Goldenrod is adding so much brightness to the landscapes these days in Alabama, and people always blame those bright yellow flowers for their fall allergies. But goldenrod doesn't cause the hay fever. That's ragweed. Goldenrod actually helps clear your sinuses and supports your kidneys. You can use the flowers, the leaves, and the roots. Plus, we got sumac clusters for making tart wild lemonade packed with vitamin C. We have autumn olives, broadleaf plantain for quick bug bite relief, and fresh pine needle tea. There is just so much bounty out here right now. So at the end of the day, learning about these plants isn't just a fun little gardening knack. It really has completely changed the way I see the world. A patch of weeds honestly becomes like a medicine cabinet. A fence line can turn into a salad bar. Foraging really invites you to slow down, be present, and take in this beautiful world that God created for you and for me. Foraging and being able to identify the trees and plants and shrubs out in your backyard is probably one of the most important self-reliant tools and skills you can build as a homesteader or gardener. So I have a little homework for you. Go in your backyard right now and just concentrate on 1 or 2 plants that you can positively 100% identify and learn everything you can about that plant. So if you enjoyed hanging out with me today, go ahead and give me a thumbs up. Also hype this video so that others can see it and enjoy the wonderful bounty and harvest it before it's too late. Also leave me a comment. What is one of your favorite top things to forage for in the late summer? So I'd love to hear and read all of your comments. Thanks so much for joining me doing one of my favorite things to do, which is foraging and being outside. Now that it's getting a little hot and the sun is getting high, I'm going to head inside and make myself some delicious iced tea. And just remember to slow down and enjoy this beautiful big earth that God created for us. All right, y'all, see you guys in the next video. Bye.